dialed in to Bucks and Brews, you might hear something you can use. Like tips on your cash or tips on the suds. You're gonna want to use the smarts of these stuff. Cause they know the brews, and they know the Bucks, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks. So listen up, cause shit's not funny. And save yourself some beer money. Bucks and Brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
Brews.
and Brews.
Bucks and Brews.
Welcome back to Bucks and Brews. So we're a little later tonight, Nick, because I had to go coach.
Yeah, thanks for that.
But I got to win, so
W's a W, baby.
winning cures all ills, and I guess I wouldn't have gone to sleep early tonight anyways because I'm jacked from the win. What are you drinking, my friend?
The tried and the true, always the blue Bud Light.
I'm going to tell you, I'm still pissed off at Bud Light.
Yeah,
I've drank more Bud Light in the last 3 weeks than I've drank in
your whole
45
life.
years, and I'm still not transgendered.
Oh man, you'll get there, don't worry.
I hope so.
Say,
I only drink it for that reason now.
let's say, I'm really looking forward to today's episode. We have a huge TikTok star. The whole family's a TikTok family right there. But so as always, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We really appreciate all your feedback on this. So David, what are you drinking?
So I have some fun stuff tonight. I have a Nitro Irish Stout from Breckenridge Brewery. When I get done with that, I got a CEO Stout from Right Brain, and then I stole this from my wife, a Simply Spiked Strawberry Peach something or another.
You ain't got a lot to kick it. You didn't steal it from her. That's yours all day. You know you picked that.
She actually did buy these. She bought a value pack, and I'm like, ooh, she stole one of my Mountain Dews. I'm stealing that.
There we go.
Drew, thank you for joining us, Drew and Elisa.
Yep.
Sweet.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for
Glad to have you both. What are you guys drinking, if anything?
So I got a nice cold can of Miller High Life, my favorite beer.
All
There
right.
you go.
I have a gallon water bottle.
That's
Nice.
Is that your second gallon of the day?
You know, I wish. It's only my first. I haven't really drank much water today, so
Yeah, I can tell. Those are rookie numbers. You got to step those numbers up. Come on.
So we happened on Drew's TikTok because of you.
Yeah.
So do you want to give a little preface there?
So, right. I mean, with me and my no life goals, and I scroll through TikTok, I see a kid who just has this black screen around it, and it says, my net worth, and here's my age, and it's broken down like a budget type of thing. I was like, wow, all right. And I always listen to see how much people talk shit, and he actually just goes into it all. And I was like, all right. I started asking a couple questions. He answers, and I was like, this is great. So I was like, hey, you want to hop onto a podcast? Hell yeah, I'd love to do a podcast. So, Drew, tell us a little bit more in depth of kind of what I described there. If you care to share your net worth, how it's kind of broken down, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I would consider myself a personal finance content creator now. It's still kind of weird for me to say that because it's still kind of new, but I'm big on TikTok. I have 35,000 followers on TikTok right now. And yeah, I simply created my TikTok because I want to help people around personal finance. And I'm extremely transparent about my net worth and how I've gotten there. And yeah, I love going on live and again, being transparent with my net worth and sharing how I got there and hopefully helping people, right? I want to show people what I have and exactly how I got there. And if they can take anything away from that, I take it as a win. So
Sure.
He sounds like somebody near and dear to our heart.
Oh yeah.
Because we literally, so we started doing this podcast 3 years ago or whatever it was, and literally started doing it just because we had some knowledge and we just wanted to give it to people.
We didn't care if they wanted it. We were just going to give it out.
Yeah, it didn't really matter. Here it is, whether you like it or not.
I love that though. I mean, that's how I started, right? I had this message and I wanted to give out. I had no idea whether I was going to have 10 followers or 10,000 or now 35,000, right? But
Sure.
I think it stems from passion, and I love passion, so I love it.
And that's great. So a quick breakdown of your net worth. And so how old are you, and what is your net worth today?
Yeah, so 32 years old, and I didn't check the stock market today how it did, but it's probably around $540,000.
Sure. No, that's huge, right? For it's not anything to bat an eye at. And now you're full-time content creator.
Yeah, as of about 3 months ago, full-time content creator. I went to school for industrial engineering. I went to college, got a 4-year bachelor's degree in that, and I worked as an industrial engineer from essentially from age 23 up until about 3 months ago, so age 32, and then now I'm giving this a go, and it's gonna be it's been a wild ride these 3 months, but I want to give it a fair shot, see if I can make this passion a career.
Yeah.
And worst case scenario, I just go back to my engineer or go back to a engineering job, hopefully.
Sure.
So.
And what I loved right when we got on, I was like, hey, is your wife joining? Because I've been on a couple different of your TikToks, and I see that she's on. And my wife, I love her to pieces. David's wife, love her to pieces. But they're the two
They
most
honestly don't care
don't
about
give
what
a
we
shit.
do.
I finally it was hilarious because I realized how much my wife doesn't know or do.
You realized this years ago. So I'm just going to preface this. We did an episode early on in COVID on if we went to a cashless society and what was going on with the coin shortage.
Yeah.
And he had his family over, and his wife goes, well, what might happen if we have this coin shortage? And I get a text from him, and he goes, God damn it, I did an entire podcast on this, and she listened to nothing I had to say, and she's sitting here asking other people their opinions.
And he said that was a great, because we had just done it that week. Like,
It was fresh.
Yeah, like we had recorded a few days ago, and I'm just like, this is great. But so I just started kind of taking some advice of myself because we give it out, but I just got off of an airplane by myself, and I always fear dying. And but I opened my laptop where I kind of have the same thing as you. I have my life kind of broken down, and I started putting in my passwords and kind of the websites, so that way my wife has that set up so she knows. I'm granted she'll never figure it out, but I think you could come over and look at it and go, well, that's gonna be there.
If she needs help, I can do it because I have the same spreadsheet.
Yeah, and she's gonna be like, okay, this is where I go to get all of Nick's money. It's gonna be great. And then I guarantee if I called my wife right now and I say, hey, what's our net worth? She'd be like, got $6. And I'd be like, hell yeah.
I mean, I don't want to take away from Drew here, but if you drop dead,
yeah,
your wife knows to call me, right?
I doubt it.
So I'm quick story. I tried to die 2 years ago, and right before I really tried to die, Nick and I did a podcast. I'm like, hey, listen, if I die, you need to take care of all of the money because they have no idea what's going on. So you need to tell your wife if you die, she needs to call me so I can help her, please.
Yeah, no, and as I say, it's going to be fun. So no, I think it's great that there's an actual couple that is really together on this because you don't find it. You don't find it too often that two people are financially on the same page, right? So
Definitely. Finance is it's something that can make or break a relationship for sure, I think. And I think it's important that before you get serious or before you even get married, that you're on somewhat of the same page. I mean, for sure, like Drew is, we have some differences in the area. I think we really balance each other out. Like I'm a little bit more laxed. But I mean, then again, like he's gotten to where he is today, which has allowed our family a lot of flexibility, which I'm very grateful for. But yeah, I mean, I think being on a similar path is very important for relationship wise, at least.
Sure. And it's fun for me because I only catch little bits, right? And I make fun of this whole throw pillow thing. And I'm like, God, that's some stupid shit my wife would go spend stupid money on. And Drew's over there like, yep, she just went and got 4 other fitted sheet covers for different colors just to see how it looks. And I'm like, I'm literally watching my life just from other people like doing this. And and so it's fun for me to sit here and watch that everybody goes to this exact same. I mean, I swear I have an Amazon package every day at my house.
Dude,
Yeah.
yes, like yes, absolutely.
I mean, I love Amazon just as much as the next woman and
Yeah.
shop. And
I was gonna be a dick this year, but I decided not to. I was gonna create like a little spreadsheet.
You're a dick every year.
Yeah, but I was gonna be like the next level dick
Right.
and like literally tally every time there was an Amazon package and just show how many actual days a package came.
But you decided you wanted to sleep in your bed.
I decided that it didn't matter at the end of the day, and some of the stuff. She bought me a cool salt and pepper grinder shaker thing. Yeah.
Like the automatic ones.
Yeah.
The one I need one of those, the one-handed, so I don't have to. You want, you can have.
I can.
The one I has is two. You need two hands. If I have one hand touch your raw meat,
Yep. No, if I want to keep my veggies moving and stuff, there it is, just all day. Yeah. I mean, I'm I'm a great chef. Look how big I am. No, I'm just kidding.
So I gotta ask this. How did I'm gonna ask this because Nick and I don't understand this experience. How did you two both come together and decide that you both cared about what was going on with the money?
So I think so whenever we first started dating, I mean, it wasn't like, I mean, we didn't talk about money at first, you know what I mean? That was never something, like, we had a very like normal, like, we went on really fun dates, all these things. But it was kind of like once we started getting a little bit more serious, this has been a passion or a dream of Drew's for as long as I've known him, pretty much. To not necessarily be in corporate America, quote unquote, to kind of do something like, he's always been really into YouTube and just content creating in general, and he's super creative. So this was kind of something that we've always talked about. And we've always also talked about that time is really important to us versus having a lot of money. So these were just conversations that we had before we even got married. Like, we've spent so much time in the car, like he would turn on so many podcasts and it'd spark conversations.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like,
see, if I turn one on, my wife would just be like, "You really have to listen to this. This is so stupid."
Okay, so now I think that would be the answer now. But when we were
dating, we're like, I mean, now, like, we're married, so I'd be like, babe, I have a headache. Like, let's turn this off. You know what I mean? Like, I care about this all the time. But still, I mean, I love him, so I want to support him in the ways that I can. I know he does the same with me. But I guess to answer your question, how did we get there? I think it was, I think it's that a lot of our morals align, and that, we want time. Like, time is the most important thing, like, with our kids and with each other. So however we can do that. But don't get me wrong, I'm not okay living in a shack, or like, I mean, or not eating like healthy quality food, or never going shopping again, or never getting a pedicure or massage. Like, so I'm not like to the extremes, but I feel like we've really found a good medium ground.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know if I could ever go without a pedicure again.
Oh, I totally could. Don't touch my feet.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Do not touch my feet.
Greatest thing a man's ever created.
A massage, on the other hand, I'm all about a massage.
I've been married 13 years.
Massages are amazing.
They are.
I say. It'll be 13 years in a couple months. And on our 10th anniversary, we finally, I let my wife get me a pedicure, and I haven't looked back since. So
21 years in June.
Yeah, get a pedicure.
No.
That's it.
What's
that?
You have nice feet and your toes look great.
Yeah, that's what I care about. The toes looking great, not the massage of everything. And
don't touch my feet.
To say. No, and so what I'd like to know is, and Drew, I'm not trying to say this in an arrogant way. Your net worth is good. It's just not wow, right? How are you able, like, are you making money on your like TikTok and stuff like that? Is that how you're creating extra like income to do this, or like how are you surviving? Because from what I understand of your breakdown, I mean, a lot of it's invested in stocks and things like that. Are you pulling that money, or are you strictly just living off of the rental income that you have? Like, how are you living your day-to-day life?
Yeah, so we're So my wife is a stay-at-home mom. I don't think we've shared that yet, but yeah, she's a stay-at-home mom. So when I was working my engineering job, it was our only income. So we're actually I mean, our expenses are about $5,000 a month, roughly. So I mean, right now we're losing, I mean, almost $5,000 every single month. So I've been at this for close to 3 months. So we're probably around 15,000 in the hole. But see, the way I look at it is, I have a net worth of $540,000 roughly. Even if I lose, let's say, 50,000 this year, and I have a net worth of, let's say, $490,000 at the age of 33, I still feel that I'm going to be in a very, very good situation, right? And I'm okay not having an extremely luxurious retirement, right? But I'd rather take this little risk and take this. I feel like it's almost a once in a lifetime opportunity to try and do this and make my passion a career. And I just wanted to go for it rather than have any regrets in 10 years. So it's definitely not. It's an extremely terrible financial decision what I'm doing, but I think I'm at the point where I don't need to optimize my finances. Right, I can lose 50,000 in a year, and I'll still be okay. Now, if I didn't have $500,000 net worth, I might not be able to do something like this, right? Or it might be even more of a bad decision. But yeah, we're definitely losing money every month, and we're tight on things right now because I do have a lot locked up.
Sure.
Well, and I know somebody at the age of 31 that retired because they got pissed off at their job, and their job basically said, "You're not needed here anymore." And they went, "All right, I guess I just won't work a normal job anymore."
Yeah.
So also, like you, was very young. I think when you're at that age, if you know what you have that ability to say, "All right, let's take a break here for a minute and try something new."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I think that's the beauty of money. See,
yeah.
like I don't really care about buying nice stuff. I think this freedom for me to be able to do something like this, or the freedom for me to retire when I'm, I don't know, 45 or 50 instead of 65, right? That's the thing that I'm chasing after. That's like, what I really care about, or I think we care about too, right?
And I think the other thing also is, he mentioned, and I forget if you mentioned this, but with the, you could say, like, platform he's created through TikTok, it was kind of one of those things like, am I ever going to get this exact opportunity again? I don't want to look back and say, what if, what if I didn't quit my job and go full force into this? What would have happened?
Sure. And I tell you, I screwed up. I don't blame my wife in any way. I mean, there's a part of it, but when I lost my job, I was fine. But what I did was sit at home and drink beer, and a shit ton of it, because COVID was here. My wife is very, like, anti go out, anti do anything. Like, if I had to go to a tenant property or something, like, I was 15 mask, like, gloves, and I just sent other people to go work on the property. But so I wasn't growing my business. So really, I just did nothing. Like, I mean, for the first time in 7 years, I played video games, right? Like, that was
You did something with me. You started a podcast.
Well, right. We did a podcast, but we never looked at it in your way. We never looked at it to go out and do a financially thing, because otherwise we'd commit time to actually edit this stuff and get people to actually care.
I edit
You do
for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I edit out the first couple of minutes of dead air and the last 10 seconds of dead air,
Yeah.
and that's the editing.
But the second time, so then I went and got a job in the real estate field again, managing 450 properties, trying to figure out what it was like to grow a portfolio that big, just so I'd have the experience, and they'd pay me for it. So then I October retired, and so since October, like, I've really doubled down on my business, really focused, really set myself to, like, hey, I don't want to pass this opportunity up again, right? Like, you guys really like, I love that you're saying, hey, time, because it takes so many people so long to realize that time is the best value you could have. Like, you're going to be home with your kids all the time. Yeah, you're going to have a little other things you have to do, right? There might be networking events or something like that, but you're getting that opportunity to do what you want when you want to. And that's, you can't replace that no matter what.
Yeah, I fully agree. The ultimate freedom.
Yeah. You said you don't like to buy nice things, but I'm gonna say you're full of shit. Say what cars do you have?
So we have
Say, yeah.
we have a 2020 Honda CR-V, and we have a 2022 Honda Civic.
There you go. Yeah.
What,
So
what do you guys think about those cars?
I
I'll
think
give my opinion on what I think of that.
no, you're fine. So David and I are,
What year is your car?
David and I completely disagree. I drive a 2010 Scion XB. It is release edition. And I have an 03 Dodge Ram 1500 with more Bondo and rust than it has sheet metal, right? Like, but she's a beast. So
I have a 2013 Chevy Equinox.
yeah.
And a 1987 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme.
Yeah. And what's your wife driving now?
Yeah, she just bought a brand
Yeah, exactly.
new 2019 Equinox.
So
That's her though. That's not me.
no, and honestly, like it's not like you're out driving a Mercedes Benz or a BMW 7 Series or anything like that, right? You have I drove a Civic for a while. We had a hybrid Civic, kind of when they were coming out. Yeah, but I mean, it's like the newest car that we own in our family is a 2010. My wife drives an 05 Honda Pilot.
Yeah. I wish you guys have, I call them FI cars. Whenever I see, like these, people with 10-year-old cars, right? I call those financial independence cars, right? Because
no. No. So here's what I'm going to tell you. You have to look at the tires. Okay. So if you see old cars, that are 10 years old or whatever, but they're run down and like they haven't changed tires and stuff, it's just because that's what they can afford. Now, if you see a 10-year-old car, but they're actually maintaining it and the tires are good, so they're guaranteeing, that means they have the $500 every however many years to make sure that car's going and it's going to run. So that's the financial. And I learned that because there's trash and then there's, this thing's
my car
early.
is older than you.
Oh yeah.
The 87 Cutlass is
Yeah.
older than you.
It's older than Drew and I. Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
I
And
will tell you that whenever we were car shopping, we were engaged, about to get married. We were car shopping. A car Drew would have loved to have bought was we were driving on the expressway, and I honestly didn't know if we were going to make it.
Weird.
I mean, there were some weird noises happening, and I was like, absolutely not. I was also pregnant at the time. And so, I mean, I definitely had a very I heavily influenced him to, I want a safe, reliable car, SUV, like for me to drive our brand new baby in. So I definitely heavily influenced Drew in that way. I would say.
No, I get it. We used to drive 97 Sables and Tauruses, which is the same car. I have every part still under warranty, so I should just keep doing those. But we ended up having like an exhaust leak, and we were having a kid as well. And my wife's like, look, I don't care what the heck I have, just make sure it's reliable and does what it needs to do. And so then she wanted so we had a Chrysler Pacifica. I only have one child. I've had to have third row in everything we own, right? It just blows my mind. Because that
with
one
your
time,
child.
that one time a year that we're going to take everybody and do everything. But so she had the Pacifica third row. Now this is her second Pilot. But she lets me go buy them for her, right? So we drove to Chicago. We're from Michigan, so we drove to Chicago, and they're cheaper to buy down there. So I bought it and drove it all the way back up here. And I don't know, I'll travel for a few $1,000s of savings. It's 3 hours for me. Like I have no problem doing that. Say, David, on the other hand, I just want it and I want it yesterday.
It's funny because I will bend over and pick up that dollar on the ground, and you will not.
That's a fact. So,
But when it comes to a vehicle, forget it.
if it was $1, I'd pick it up.
Bullshit.
No, I've picked up dollars. It's just if it's a quarter, I'm a 50% chance to pick that quarter up.
I'm picking up the penny.
Anything less,
Picking up.
I'm not doing it.
See,
Like just
I have this thing where it's like superstitious or whatever, right? But the pennies, I don't actually pick them up. Well, no, if it's heads up, I pick it up for
Yeah.
good luck. And then if it's tails, I'll flip it over to give someone else good luck. So I have to touch every single penny. I have to touch it. Not, but
It's funny you say that.
I will pick this time.
We were in Chicago, and my brother found a penny in the hallway. He stopped and he picked it up, and he's like, "What's that saying?" I was like, "If on heads, then it's good luck, and if on tails, give it away, and you'll have good luck another day." And so he has its heads. He picks it up, and then yeah, I cut my lip, do whatever. He ends up finding like $10 on the floor at Comic-Con, and I was like, "What the shit?" And he just has like great luck through this entire like day, and I was like, I might start picking pennies up, man. Like, I don't understand this, you know? But no, I don't know. I won't, I mean, just for fun, maybe. Like, but if my kid's with me, I'll just tell them
I'd
to
pick it all up.
Yeah, it's too much for me.
All of it.
Not worth my time. I've picked up a $20 bill before.
That's
Yeah, you picked those up too.
Yeah. Let's say.
So are you guys both like frugal? Like, or can I guess hear the quick background on you guys? Maybe I don't know.
So
Sure.
in certain ways, we are both very frugal, and in certain ways, we both are a little extravagant.
It's true.
It depends on what we're looking at. So, unlike you guys, I have a 28-year-old,
Oh shit!
and
Just dropped my beer. I was gonna show the TikTok world. You guys, everyone say hi. Sorry.
Hi, Mom.
So when it comes to something she likes, I spend freely.
Yep.
Other than that, I'm really, really cheap. If I see money, I'm picking it up. I'm always looking to save an extra 50 cents or $1 on whatever it is. It doesn't matter. If there's a coupon, I'm finding the coupon. If there's an app, I'll use the app. If there's something, I use different like receipt apps. I take a picture of it. It gives me 2 cents. I'll take that 2 cents. I don't care.
Yep. I'm not frugal in that way. Like, I'm frugal and I'm just a cheap ass, right? Like, given the opportunity so I love craft beer, right? And there's a time and a place for it. And if I'm hanging out with friends and doing stuff, which, you know, I'll do craft beer in here, but like, really, like, if I go to a bar, hey, what's on special? And give me a Bud Light, right? It's just, I don't know, it's a normal Tuesday to me. I go all out on parties and things like that, and my wife forces me. But really, like, if the only things I'm really not cheap on is my ketchup, and so my wife's cheap on mustard, and she fucked that up. French's yellow mustard only. That's all it should ever be. Don't give me this knockoff crap brand.
I don't care about that.
But say really, yeah, you know how long it's been since I've had I know I'm huge, right? But like, you know how long it's been since I've had a Big Mac, right? It's because the double cheeseburger is $1 or whatever it is. I'm not paying the $6, right?
Hey, well, right now in the McDonald's app, they got a buy one get one free, like Big Mac. I think you buy like a Big Mac or a quarter pounder and you get one for free. So now's your
now's my chance to get a nice burger. But you know, plain and sure, every time I get my coupon or my receipt, right? It's always, hey, if you call this, you can do the buy one get one or something. I never call, never do that. Once in a blue moon, if I'm sitting waiting for food for Taco Bell and they gave me the receipt, I'll log in to try to win $500, but that doesn't happen very often. You know, really, if it was up to me, you know, we was having this conversation this weekend, actually. In the beginning of my wife and I starting our life, so we were dating. I found out she was a little bit into debt. She had horrible credit. I mean, when I say a little into debt, she was like $2,000 max. I brought her to my accountant. We were dating, and I was like, "Here, do this, and they'll do the tax return." She was so excited to get money back, and I laughed in her face and said, "You're just going to pay your debt off." And she's like, "Well, we can go do this," and I was like, "You just pay your debt off, and we could not have this." But you know, like, we lived like college kids. I went to college but never graduated. I went for bowling. really, like, I was halfway through a community college, got a scholarship to another college, and walked out of the class and never looked back. Walked into the new one. But so we ate hot dogs, ramen noodles. You guys know what Aldi is?
Aldi. I love Aldi.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, now Aldi's getting expensive, but back in the day, it was like, 79 cents for a bag of chips, and they didn't have all this like natural stuff, but it was really, I mean, we ate hot dogs like crazy. We ate the liver burger. No, they were burgers, but they have like pig heart, and I didn't care. Like other people read what was in it. I was like, I don't care. We ate so cheap for so long, and I saved every penny. I saved everything. Given we keep our house at 62 degrees in the winter, right? Or sometimes down to like 59. I don't care. Like that's what blankets are for, and we're supposed to be young and cuddling. So, whatever.
I was not allowed to do that.
Well, when we had the kid, well, you had a kid right away, but when we had the kid, then it went up. And now it's funny because we walk into people's houses and it'll be like 67 or 69. We're like, God, it's so hot in here. Like, how do you people live? But we just didn't do much. One of the best things that saved my marriage was because I realized I forced my wife to live in a lifestyle she didn't ask for, right? I mean, she was just like, yeah, it's fine. We can live like this. When we went out to eat, we didn't get pops, we didn't get drinks, right? Because they're $2.50 and that's $5 a meal that we could save. Yes, we're going out, and that's what we're spoiling ourselves is just the meal. And we have a small little local restaurant where a hamburger and fries is like $7, right? But you don't need a drink. So, but what we did was we started a vacation account, and we both do into that. So now when we go on vacation, which happens to be a shit ton now, whatever's in that account, she gets to spend. She gets to go to Big B, anything she wants every day, anything like that. If I want a beer, I just go do it. No questions. That money's there. That is blow away money that I've never accounted for. I don't count it towards any part of my life. And it keeps us both happy. But now I just have to do it more often. So we're on vacation every 2 fucking seconds. So but yeah, so I really am. I'm just very cheap. Very cheap. If I looked at a phone plan, I wouldn't my wife's paying for my phone. I'm just letting you guys know that. Not the plan, but like she's like, hey, you really need a nice phone or whatever because all the stuff you do. And I was like, no, give me the free one. She goes, look, I'll pay the $3 extra for this phone. I was like, all right, you're paying for it. I'm not paying the $3. Like plain and simple, I just won't do it. I do have a membership to Planet Fitness, which you can clearly see I haven't used in 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, you've been hurt.
I've injured myself, but that's the only subscription I have. Actually, I lie. I realized the other day I do lie.
What do you have?
I have a Family Handyman magazine.
Really?
Yeah, it's really awesome magazine. Teaches you how to build stuff.
I haven't had a magazine subscription in like a decade.
It cost me $9 a year. So
at least a decade.
Well, consider me the old man because I love being a grandpa.
You are.
But yes, just very, very cheap. Also, I do it because it's payback to my wife, and this is the only thing I want out of life is a brand new pair of socks every single day. Like I don't ever want to wash them. I just want to take them off, throw them away. If it gets wet, I take it off, I put a new pair on. That is the only thing that would make me so happy in life, but she won't let me have that.
I'm calling bullshit right now.
That's wasteful.
Because we've had many episodes and you're like, I would be so happy if my wife made me a Hungry Man Salisbury
steak. I do love the doubt. No, it's not Hungry Man, it's Banquet.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That sounds awful, by the way.
It's amazing. But yeah, so she won't let me have that. So I can't let her have her life because I can't get my socks every day. So it's wasteful apparently to her. So yeah, that's just
I'm kind of on her side here.
Yeah. But also just like you said, I know that it sucks that I made my wife go through that life, but I retired at 31 years old, right? We bought a shit ton. I took my wife, the first house we bought, I did the American dream, right? We bought 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It needed a bunch of work. And my wife has never been about materialistic things, which I absolutely love about her. I have personally spoiled her myself. We had a Coach Christmas one year. So I just bought her everything Coach. But we moved from 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms to a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom duplex, and she was fine with it. And that was the start of us getting to where we needed to be. Tenants moved out 9 months later. We ended up moving back home, but we just kept kind of going that way. So, and
Very supportive, right?
in a non, she's supportive and hey, go do what you got to do, and I'll live this way. But like, again, she doesn't know a thing. I guarantee right now, my wife has no idea the houses that I own. Like, it's not. It sounds really weird to say that, but like, I was talking about one, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to do this to the kitchen and stuff," and she goes, "I've never even seen the house. I don't even know what you're talking about." I was like, "Oh, let's go take a look at this real quick." So she's like, "Oh, didn't even know you owned over here," and I was like, "Yeah, I also own that house and that, that house." And she's like, "Huh." I was like, "There's a spreadsheet at home if you ever want to look at it someday." And she's like, "Yeah, maybe."
Well, I think that's the problem you and I both have is
Yeah.
our wives, for as much as they are involved in our lives, really monetarily do not know what's going on,
Not cool.
which is why these two
Yeah,
are so impressive
you're
to
an
us
anomaly
because they both know what's going on.
yeah.
I'm definitely a lot more ingrained in it, right?
For sure.
But
sure.
But
you know,
you,
yeah, we definitely talk, and she kind of knows what our goals are in the future, and what we need to do to get there and stuff like that. And yeah, she's totally on board with.
which is huge. I mean,
I'm
know
gonna-
that he owns a duplex, right?
Yeah,
You've seen it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Let's say.
I mean, I'm going to ask this. So, do
We
you know how many checking accounts you both have?
Yes.
Because I will guarantee my wife does not.
Wife has no clue.
No fucking idea.
So my wife and I have separate bank accounts for reasons because again, my wife is an Amazon spender. She thinks if she sees money, we have money, and she's just gonna go spend it. That's how much she has to spend, and that's not how it works in life. But it works out. But my wife is on a very select amount of my accounts, and it's kind of weird. But she knows my login, so that way she could log into my account, transfer everything over to an account, and then go close it when I die. Right? She doesn't need access to it until I die. But she knows my username and password for that, so she can literally just go transfer. Now I'm free and clear. She doesn't have to wait for probate and things and everything else is laid out. But she's entitled to it. She just at this moment couldn't touch it if she tried. So yep, it's no, it's weird that my wife has no idea how much how many bank accounts we have.
Well, to be
So-
fair, we did live in the duplex together, so I do know about. I actually found the duplex that we.
Nice. Wow.
So you guys, I was desperate to get out of our current situation because we were living in an apartment during COVID. I mean, it was bare bones. You know, I mean, we didn't have a TV, of course, but like we're not big TV people. We didn't have a TV. It was bare bones.
Yeah.
It's
So
cheap.
Craigslist furniture. Yeah.
$3 toaster. I think like $12 table.
That's amazing.
Dare
because-
you?
Well, that's exactly it. So like it took, I mean, we did the whole Craigslist furniture and stuff, and that was my wife's biggest want. And I was like, and I'm trying to teach my wife financial responsibility, and I'm like, save your money. You can buy whatever couch you want. And you can go buy it because I don't want new furniture. I mean, to me, a kitchen chair works, right? Like come sit. I don't care. And so she bought that. When you talk about TV, we do for some reason I have multiple TVs, but I just got internet 4 months ago in my house because we switched phone plans and I saved so much money. They offered $25 internet, and so we bought it. But really, we don't have cable. All of my Netflix and all that, except for Amazon, which my wife has, that all comes from other people, their passwords and things. I did a trade with my buddy for his YouTube login so I could watch the World Baseball Classic. I traded him I went and picked up like logs from in his yard and stuff. And I was like, because let me pay you money. And I was like, nah, man, just give me your login. He's like, cool. So really, yeah, that's the only reason we have that stuff. I won't do subscriptions. I won't do those types of things.
See, one thing that really changed our outlook on finances was our kid, our
Mhm.
daughter. Once, like,
Yeah.
even for me, as frugal and cheap as I am, that we've been talking about. Once we had her, it was just
You want to give your kid
my
everything.
complete mindset on everything changed.
Oh, yeah. My kid
Literally
owns the world.
Yeah,
best
yeah.
of
You
everything.
what?
Sure, they have the safest of everything. I mean, like, our daughter has, like, you know, the safest car seat
Yep.
probably get that she can
Yeah.
get, and um basically she has the safest of everything. And it's just funny how, yeah, once you have a child, I mean, this person is your world, so you're like, money doesn't really
But yeah,
the same way.
no, I get it. And did you guys buy all new, or did you get them as gifts, or did you are you okay with used stuff for your kid?
Depends what it is, but yeah,
Only toys really use everything
Yeah.
else. I mean, we were very fortunate to, like, I mean, to have like a baby shower. We got a lot of stuff for
Yeah.
our baby shower, and then, like, my parents, it's like their first granddaughter, so they're like completely, absolutely enamored, first grandchild, so, and
Yeah.
enamored, like, we'll essentially buy her whatever she wants. So I mean, like, we are very fortunate in the way of, like, for those things. But as far as, like, car seats and bed and that stuff, like, we knew we wanted it to be new, so it would be no question asked safe for her.
Oh, that's good. Our crib came from one of her friends, which were loaded, so we knew it was a good crib. The car seat, the car seats and all that. My wife knew what she wanted, and I bless her heart for doing the research, because we got those. I just found out they're cheap brands because they're really expensive to me, but Graco, like, where you can just click and lock and it picks up, and you don't have to, like, you don't have to do anything except for put it into that casing or whatever. That was awesome. I know you had to do the whole buckle behind because you're 90. The arm
The fuck are you talking about?
car seats.
My daughter was 5.
Yeah, she should have been in a booster still
The hell she was. She was
Yeah.
a tall kid.
back in these days.
I got her in 2000.
I got her.
She was 5.
Yeah. No, and then that's, parents and grandparents is really what helps out a lot, right? We had one day of daycare because my wife wanted it so she can get around other people, but otherwise my grandparents who raised me watched my daughter for the first couple of years and my wife's really always worked part-time, well, except for in the beginning when
Right.
but we had 2 jobs, and then all of a sudden my wife got to go part-time, and I was working my business plus a full-time job, and she'll never tell you that that's how it goes, but say, now she has 2 part-time jobs that equals very much more full-time. But I understand where you're coming from with, again, my kid has everything. Like, if you walk into my house, there's just so many freaking toys, and I swore I'd never, like, buy my kid toys, and I don't. We just, again, we do parties, right? So if it's Christmas, she has 7 Christmases, so she gets all these toys from everybody. And then her birthday, we always have a party, so then she gets toys. And my wife and I are always the ones that buy clothes, right? Or
I bought her socks.
buy her socks because she's just like
She
daddy.
was so excited about socks
Dude, I'm telling you, she's a great kid. She's smart. She's gonna go far in this world.
and purple potatoes.
Purple potato. Yep, that's what she wanted for Christmas one year was purple potatoes. Did you
Oh,
know they make them?
Actual purple potatoes.
Yeah.
That's funny.
wow.
So
They exist.
yeah, every year she's gotten what she wanted for Christmas. We buy her one thing, and we've been so fortunate, except for this year. This year she wanted the American Girl doll ice cream truck, which is
What did that go for?
we bought it used for $40 off of Facebook, but brand new I think it's like $450.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's people that buy it and their kid doesn't use it, so then I swoop in.
Then they sell it
Yeah.
because they need something.
Yep. But no, I mean, she gets to pick one thing because Santa's not rich, and she gets one thing from Santa every year. So and every year and I keep telling her to, like, ask for like a family vacation or something, but I'm all about that if he gets one gift.
How old is your daughter?
She's 7.
Mhm.
Yeah. And again, my wife, she'll buy the kid whatever. I mean, I swear to God, half the Amazon packages are my daughter's clothes or random stupid stuff, and then the other half is my wife getting stuff. And then, but she'll yell at me because I have too much junk. I'm the problem.
I mean, you do have a lot of junk.
I do. Say.
Not enough socks.
So all right, things I want, since we're talking about kids, have you started a betterment index fund for your kid where you're contributing to their future? Are you doing a, what is it, 529?
Yeah, we have a 529, but that's it.
Okay, so you're all about the college life, huh?
I think so. I'm not contributing enough where I think it'll pay for the entire, especially when you account for tuition, 18 years from now or 16 years from now. But yeah, but they've also started a new thing where you can like roll it over into a Roth.
Yep.
I don't know all the details, but I know that's an option too.
Yep.
But yeah,
if they don't use it for intended purposes, yeah, you can roll it.
yeah.
If you want free Nick advice, just start a betterment account, $25 a week, a month, whatever you're comfortable with. I did $25 a week. And I mean, over time, at one point I was up a lot. Sorry. And now it's, I don't even know, 20 grand or something like that. And she's 7. So just slowly keeps going. And I started it when she was 6 months old. And it's just, as I tell everybody, you'll never see $25. You blow it on so much stuff that you'll never notice it. Just do it, because over the course of 7 years, it'll add up and you'll never look at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think one of the keys in even my journey has been automation, right? Even on a larger scale, I think you've seen I put a lot of money into, my like tax advantage, accounts like 401k, Roth IRA, but
Yep.
all that stuff I just had automated for all my 20s. And then, I just pretended like I was making essentially $20,000 less than I was making. I just found a way to live off it. And honestly, I think that was instrumental, but I fully agree. The automating, automating is a huge key for sure.
Yeah. And, I did the same. When I was working, I had a 401k, Roth and all that. I don't know, I was more financially smart than some people. So I started betting guys at work to see who could put the most in, right? So at one point I had 25% of my paycheck, right? I wasn't making much, 60,000, 50,000 a year type thing. And it was funny because when I started out, I was working 60 hours a week. And then as a bonus to myself every year, I would just cut down hours, right? And I'd go to 57 and 55. And then by the end of my career, I was working like 45 hours because I always looked at overtime. Everybody's like, oh, you should be able to live off the base. And I was like, cool, that's what normal people want to live off of, is the base, right? I want to live off of that. But I invested every dollar of my overtime because that was me for above and beyond, right? I went above and beyond, and I want that to go to my life of above and beyond, right? You guys don't take it the wrong way. $5,000 a month, like that's a lot of money for spending, right? That's a huge monthly budget. So I'd love to see how it's kind of broken down in a budget wise someday and figure out where your biggest monies are.
Yeah, I'm transparent about all this stuff, but our mortgage, which is principal, interest, tax, insurance, it's about $2,350, $2,400 a month.
Okay. So that's a big house then.
Yeah, I think it's high. And to be fair, again, I don't mind being transparent. We paid for the house we live in. We paid like 375, 380, somewhere in that range. That was maybe 2 years ago, roughly. And then we put 5% down. So yeah, and our interest rate is around 3%. But yeah, that comes out to, like I said, $2,400 a month. But once you factor in, electric and gas, internet, et cetera, I mean, it's probably close to $2,800 a month just in housing.
And your cars are paid off?
One is paid off. The CRV is paid off. The Civic, my payment on that is $350 a month.
Okay, so that's a little high.
Sorry.
No, I say it's just with a financial net worth, I guess, of that, why don't you have it paid off? And what's your interest rate on it?
Interest rate on that is around 3% also. So my thinking is I'd rather, well, one, we're honestly low with liquid cash at the moment.
Sure.
And so I didn't have enough liquid, to be honest, to pay for it in full. But yeah. The thinking was I'd rather have that money, in other investments than to, to put all the money into a car.
No, that's good. I mean, like, as long as you know that, hey, as long as that money's in investments, and that's what I tell people all the time. Like, if you're getting a 3% loan, that's great, but make sure that the money's actually going towards investments, so you're out earning that 3%, right? I'm not afraid to admit I've had a car loan because it was 0.9%, right? I mean, I knew we paid $10,000 for the vehicle. I had 15,000 sitting in a bank account making 3 or 4%, whatever Lake Michigan is. I had 2 accounts, but like sitting here going, I'm guaranteeing to make myself 2% every month on this. Why pay this when I can just pay a $200 a month payment, right? Because that's how my brain works. Is every penny. I'm not going to pick up a penny, but every penny needs to be working, right? And again, here's another example of food, because that's what I go back to all the time. So my wife likes all beef hot dogs, and they're like $5 a pack. I don't personally care for them, and I'm very happy to eat bar ass 99-cent a pack hot dogs, right? And that's what we eat, because I'm not paying $4 for the exact same thing. And this dude's over here with like $9 Nathan's.
I've got Nathan's, because Nathan's is the best.
I don't care about the best.
They taste so fucking good.
Say,
way better than bar ass. Like, I will eat those.
I know you will. I've seen you eat them.
I have, but I would rather have Nathan's.
And we bulk spend, because every Memorial Day we have Meijer, which is like a Walmart, but they run ballparks 5 for $5. So then I'll splurge and keep my ballparks around for when we have a party, so that way people think we're rich, because oh man, they're buying ballpark. I'm like, dude, I paid $5 for 5 of them. So,
dude, I used to buy 2 different types of toilet paper. I'd buy the cheapest kind you can buy, and then I would buy the nicer stuff that I would put out if people were coming over.
When guests come over.
I love that.
Especially when I was single, like if I was dating someone at the moment, or I, had a girl come, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I would definitely, put out the nicer stuff then. But I buy 2 types of toilet paper.
No, that is the other thing I am not cheap on. My wife, it's funny because she did try to be cheap. I give her credit. She went and bought the Costco toilet paper, and I told her, I was like, I'll never wipe my ass with that again. Like, I want Cottonelle or Charmin, whatever it is, ultra soft. Like, my hiney is ultra soft. That's what's going to happen. I get so mad using the restroom and having crappy toilet paper.
You went off on the toilet paper there, and I think Eliza was going to say something.
Oh no, I was gonna say, unfortunately for him, I'm not like a big toilet paper snob. So
Fortunately for me.
I guess. Well, unfortunately, like whenever you were buying different toilet paper,
that didn't
whenever
matter.
we were dating, I probably didn't know.
I wasted my good stuff on you.
Yeah.
Say, way to go, wasting all the good stuff. No. Now, all right. So you have a payment on that. You have a payment on your house. And your
food budget is. I'm scared. Honestly, this is gonna sound crazy, but I've never been a big budgeter, because throughout my 20s, number one, I was just so naturally cheap that I knew I was already analyzing repurchase, and I just didn't need a budget, to be honest.
Sure.
And then I also knew, because I was, I had so much money going into, like my 401k, Roth IRA, etc. I was with the mindset, I've already put all my money away. I can just spend whatever I have left, and I know I'm doing extremely well, or very well, right? So, but I've never been a big budgeter, which didn't really matter in my 20s. But now, honestly, we need to do a better job of budgeting, and we're just we're not. And our grocery bill, honestly, I'm scared to look at it, because it's just.
I think we need to do a better job of planning. The other thing I will say, don't want to make any excuses, but I've been pregnant for 8 months currently. I've had a very rough pregnancy, like very.
Congrats. I mean, not on the rough part,
I
but
was gonna
congrats on
say.
the pregnancy.
Thank you. But it was very sick in the beginning. So it was very much so like Andrew would be like, what do you want to eat this week? I'm like, I don't even know what I want to eat in the next 2 minutes. Okay. So like I was not at all like
Was that
you'll plan for yourself, but like I mean he was having to run out at all hours of the night to go get me whatever I needed, because like whenever you're sick as a dog, like you're just not thinking about anything
For
else
sure. Yeah.
but getting through it. So
Yeah.
I say that
was your first pregnancy like that?
yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
I
So
have
he's used to it.
he's very supportive, very he's a great errand runner.
I would absolutely love a second kid. Not even, my wife is amazing being pregnant. And for some reason, so my favorite food is tacos. That's my love language is tacos, like plain and simple. My best vacation was Mexico tacos, but for some reason she wanted to always have spicy tacos. And she's like, hey, because they make like a hot and spicy seasoning. I was like, yeah. So she'd be like, hey, do you want spicy tacos for lunch? Hell yeah, I do. I know we just had them for lunch, but like, do you want hot and spicy tacos for dinner? Yeah, yeah, I do. Like, let me make those like real quick. And so like, I had just so many tacos while she was pregnant. It was the greatest gift to me ever. Like
Greatest gift to you.
it was like these people like talk about like pregnancy and how it's like this, and I was like, dude, I absolutely had the great, and my kid was amazing. Like she never had colic, knock on wood. Like she just such a good kid. I mean, I told my wife, I was like, this is how it's going to be. I'd have 10 kids, and for some reason we can't have a second, but like I absolutely loved it. So I'm sorry that you're having a rough pregnancy, but you talk about, hey, we should pre-plan. My wife just got pissed at me tonight because she goes, I don't even know why I buy fucking food because this is the third night. So Monday I flew in. I got here at like 4:00. My daughter had a choir concert at 6.
I saw the video. That was awesome.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, the Star Wars one."
Yeah.
And then so she's like, "I was like, hey, what's for dinner?" And she's like, chicken, sausage, and something." Here, I just got off of like eating the way my fat ass eats and like drinking a shit ton, and I was like, "Cool, you go ahead and eat that. I'm gonna go get a burrito because I'm just not doing chicken sausage tonight." Like, and then that was Monday. So we go out. We all go out to Mexican food. We do that. Last night, I don't know what happened. We ended up going out to eat. Tonight, she found out that I had a 5:00 meeting, and then I had you guys or whatever. And she's like, I don't know why the fuck I try to plan meals. And I was like, so you could eat. What? Like, I'm not mad if you eat at home. Like, it's better than 3 of us going out to eat. But if I go out, she has to go out, right? So, mind you, she also took the kid to my kid went to the dentist today, and she had to have McDonald's. So of course she had to buy her that, right?
Of course.
I'm like, oh yeah. So somehow I'm the problem because I don't eat one meal that you've planned. Who eats chicken sausage? I do apparently.
Apparently not.
Never. But so planning doesn't work because your life will just get all crazy and Drew will have to hop online. I have to go live right now, and all my fans want me.
Yep. He's a popular guy.
This dude's on TikTok more than I am. I think like 3 times a day, right?
Yeah, I've been trying to tone it down a little because I'm trying to figure out a way to monetize my account a little better, and I'm realizing that I can't really monetize. I don't make any money when I go live. I love doing it honestly because I genuinely love doing it and helping people, but I got to figure out a way to pay for these $5,000 of expenses.
Yeah, start asking for it, right? I don't know if you set the goals or whatever up the top, and I just see that when people ask for it, hey. We found that out kind of by accident. We have stickers and magnets and stuff, and so we just go live and we're like, hey, whoever sends us a gift, we'll just send it out. Granted, it might cost us money, but it's getting our stuff out there. We ship it to people, and it costs more than what we got. But we just this is you throw us a hat or something like that, or you throw us, I don't care, a tiny diny or whatever these things are called nowadays.
Give us a rose or something.
Right. Whatever, a penny, like here, we'll just ship it out to you. Now we know we've got a listener, we've got people that are interacting with us, and it'll go for a while. So never hurts to ask, right? The worst thing somebody could do is say no. So that's just
advice. And honestly, on TikTok, they're just not going to say anything.
Right. Well, or they'll troll the shit out of you, right? So let's talk about that. Yeah. How do you deal with trolls on TikTok?
I love trolls. I absolutely love trolls
Yes.
because, well, yeah, they're annoying sometimes, but I want to be challenged, right? If somebody says, or has a different opinion, I want to be challenged, and I want to show my viewers also that I have a good answer, and this is how this is my answer to whatever this troll differs with me on, but I actually I think they're funny. I think it's funny to watch people get upset about like, right, TikTok, right, some guy, like one guy on the internet. I think it's funny, so I actually
Yeah.
enjoy them. They're funny to me. Yeah.
Good.
But how do
So
you have a very different opinion on trolls, right?
no, I think I love just messing with them back, right? Um, I enjoy them, but say I enjoy them, and then David just goes straight for like the gut shot, right? Like I'll just play with him, he'll just bam, and I'm like, dude, that's gonna get us banned for a second, right? Like, um,
I mean, it's like our scam callers,
we do.
which we will take on air.
Yeah, we do. So, and that's the other thing we should have told you in the beginning. If we ever I get a million scam phone calls and stuff like that, and we put them on air and we talk, and we just try to see how far we can get it, just for fun, because I don't know, we love to just waste other people's time.
We do.
So,
Yeah.
As well.
yeah. So, all right, why aren't you buying more real estate?
So yeah, I always say I would love, or I mean, on my lives, I say I would love to buy more real estate. I wish I honestly would have got into it sooner. I didn't. Yeah, the duplex that we house hacked, that was around 2.5 or 3 years ago. But man, I would be a lot richer if I house hacked when I was 24 years old, right? And compared to 29. So yeah, I always say I would love to get more. The issue is, I don't have enough cash because I put all my cash on the duplex down payment, the primary home down payment, and then I also paid for the CRV in cash. And I wish I would have done that, to be honest. But
So-
yeah, I don't have enough cash, and then our cash flow is terrible. Even when we were working even when I was working my engineering job, I mean, because single income, and again, we definitely have a little fat in our budget we could trim, but we were spending almost every dollar I was earning it with my engineering job. So, but yeah, and now I don't have a salary to qualify for a mortgage either. That's
So I don't know how to put it the correct
even when I
way.
was working my
You're just
didn't have enough cash.
you're just lacking the education. That's all I'll tell you.
I know there's ways to creative financing, right?
Millions of ways to buy deals.
Nick would know because he's retired
Say million.
and buys a house every couple weeks.
It's
Roughly.
it's all about like comfort zone, I think, because I've had discussion. I mean that's one of the areas I always get challenged with, to be honest, on my lives. There's a lot of people that are heavy into real estate, and they would ask me that, and for me it's a comfort zone thing, right? I used to be all index funds up until I was 29, and then eventually I was like, hey, I really want to get out of this 9-to-5 world. How do I get this? How do I get there as fast as possible? And I think that answer is real estate, and that's why I got into real estate. But then, I mean, even prior to that, it was always, oh, I was the person saying, oh, but I don't want to fix toilets at 2 a.m. And now that I'm into it, I know that's not really a valid question. But so I got out of my comfort zone to eventually buy that first duplex. And now I think that next comfort zone level is, okay, I know how to buy a property with, more, I guess, traditional financing, right?
Yep.
But now my next level is, okay, how do I do creative? I just don't know enough, to be honest.
No, and that's exactly it. And you're so I wouldn't tell you to buy right now either, because you're on a whole different career level. Like if you try to grow two businesses at once, you'll half-ass both of them, right? And that's not what you want to do and where you want to be. I found that out very much. So, I've bought properties very slowly in the beginning, right? I mean, and then I realized what it could do, excuse me. And then my second retirement, I mean, I've done 9 transactions since October.
Oh,
right.
wow.
Just because like I've mean, I've committed 40 hours to it, whatever you want to call it. Like, so, but it's getting to know the right people, figuring out how to do the right stuff, and making sure that everything works out the right way. So there's a lot to learn. And we can have you on for another episode where you could just sit and listen, and I'll feed you information all day, because that's my, that's my passion, right? It's because it's giving me a life that I never thought I would have. I'll tell you that, right? I live in a $320,000 house, right? And I paid $86,700 for it. And then after I refinanced while I was living there, I paid 101, right? So I found somebody to give me the money to buy it, and then I had to refi, and all the fees and everything was like, $15,000 worth of fees. But I bought a $300,000 place for $100,000. So, it's just how to find those and what to do with it, right? And people say, "Oh, that's not possible," and I'm like, "Cool, I don't care what you think. Like, I'm actually doing it." So that's what I learned. Is everybody will say, "Hey, things aren't possible." It's not that things aren't possible; it's that you're not willing to go make it happen, right? Um, so what do you think your best advice to somebody? So, all right, actually, I want to jump back. You went to college 4 years. How did you get out of it debt free?
My parents paid for it.
Oh, one of those rich spoiled people that was handed everything. Oh, look at you, Mr.
See,
Big Shot.
it's funny. So again, that's a very common comment that I'll get on my lives, because, and I'm
course
very
it is.
concerned about that as well. But see, the funny thing I think is, like, yeah, I no doubt had great parents, right? But I really think part of the reason, and my parents are financially literate, but part of the reason they had money to pay for my college, and I think to have the lifestyle that they're having now is, I mean, my if there's anyone that's cheaper than me, it's my dad and my mom, right? So like they were, honestly, and that's part of why I am, but like they were very frugal. They lived below their means,
Yep.
and they saved and invested their money. So that's why, like, I feel so strongly. Like, if anything, my whole TikTok account is just paying homage to my parents, and
Yep.
what they did to be able to pay for my college, and what I'm kind of doing now, right? But I really think that it can work for you know you know a lot of people, right? Right. If you're making, $15 an hour, obviously you're gonna have to make more money, find a way to make more money, right? But I really think there's a large group of people that, that strategy can, work. But
Yeah. And I thought about it because I grew up very, very poor, right? My parents didn't help me with a damn thing. And what it is it's more of a jealousy factor, right? For a lot of people, because I tell you what, like, now that I have some money, I'm not the richest person out there, I'm comfortable. Um, it's amazing to have the feeling to be able to help your kid pay for college or do whatever, right? They don't have to worry. And so anybody that tells me, "Oh, your family did all this," look, am I afraid to admit? Like, I'm pretty transparent, except for a few things, right? But I will tell you, like, my mom gave me $100 when I got married. That, I do remember that. Like, "Hey, congrats on getting married, kid. Here you go." And my wife and I went to Vegas because it was cheaper than going up north of Michigan. It was cheaper back then to go there, and we spent it all. It was great. We were horrible, but you know, given the opportunity, yeah, I think everybody. If you ask everybody, "Hey, if you had the money, would you help your kids out?" "Oh, I wouldn't pay for their college." "Okay, but would you, if they were hungry, would you feed them?" "Yeah, of course, they're my kid." "Okay, so congrats. You value certain things versus what others, right? Did you buy your kid a car?"
I'm really happy that I paid for most of my daughter's college.
Right? I mean, because you had the opportunity
I
to.
did.
I mean, you had the ability to, I guess, right? And it's there. She's doing better than most people,
Yeah.
and that's amazing. She has her own place. She's doing well. So now, between the two of you, have you combined your finances?
So, well, I'll start
Yeah,
off with
go.
this.
Sure.
Drew, we always say Drew Rock the Cradle with Me, I think is like
Rob the Cradle?
Rob the Cradle, whatever.
How young are you?
So I turned 29 in February.
So I'm about 3.5 years.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So it's not too bad. But so when Drew met me, I was fresh out of college. I became a flight attendant.
Oh yeah.
Then so I did that for about 2 years, and then COVID hit. We moved in together. I went and got my master's, so I wasn't working or doing anything. And then after I finished my master's, we got engaged, pregnant, married, and stay-at-home mom. So to be completely transparent, I never made, a lot of money. I never
Money,
had
yeah.
net worth or anything like that. So there wasn't a whole lot to combine. I will say though that I have my own like Drew, I can thank Drew for that. He helped me whenever I was a flight attendant to set up like a Roth 401k, invest in index funds, things like that. But it's not like I came to our relationship with 50 grand and we had like all of these finances to combine, because I've been staying at home since we have been together essentially.
Sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's perfect. I mean, now are you in college debt?
No, my parents did pay for it.
Wow. Two rich people's parents. Wow. What's that feel like?
So I grew up, my parents we were in no way like rich growing up. I, would have the smallest house out of all my friends. Like my parents didn't drive like designer cars, anything like that. Very modest family growing up. But, my parents definitely, that was something they prioritized for sure. So
That's awesome.
it was nothing, my parents never like, made a ton of money or anything. They worked their butts off though. And I think that was just to, like we've talked about, to really give their kids, they gave us everything that they could. So
Yeah. No, that's great. And are you hoping to do the same for your kids?
for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And that's what, it's funny because I find that, right, a lot. Like if your parents paid for college, right, you feel that that's kind of just the norm as you go pay for your kids, right? Like my parents didn't help with the wedding, but if I, of my friends, right, like if their parents paid for their wedding, then they're paying for their kids, right? Like I have aunts and uncles that pay for all of their kids' weddings and stuff like that. And I'm just like, that's insane. Like I didn't have mine paid for, but I am saving for that opportunity because, I want to live generational wealth, right? Mine want, if my daughter and everybody, it's funny because of how cheap I am but also how hardworking, you know, if my daughter, the question gets asked, oh, what if your daughter goes and, doesn't want to work? Well, that's fine. I don't care. Like, I hope she doesn't work, but I hope that she goes and impacts the world, right? She has to go do something to impact a different life that's not just her own. She can have every dollar, right? Like, she can go earn some stuff or whatever, but like, there'll always be a flight back home for her. I have no problem saying it to anybody. Like, because my wife, I think art's a fucking joke. Like, sorry to anybody that's an artist, and I people that are doing, oh, it's this and that, and without art, I don't see it. I don't do it. Like, it's just not. I'm not an interior designer. I can't see things. I see function. That's what I see, right? I'm always like, oh, what if she wants to go to school for art? You're gonna pay for that? No. Like, maybe I don't like. I haven't thought about that.
You
right?
totally would.
Of course, I'm gonna pay for it, right? If she wants to go, but I don't care. Like, I'll be the biggest. The problem is, like, and I told her, I was like, as long as she does it as a business, not just a hobby, that's a whole difference, right? So sure, I have no problem buying a painting of hers for $1 million. I have no problem giving Drew $1 million and saying, hey, buy this painting for $1 million. So that way she has 2 paintings sold for $1 million. And now all of a sudden, my daughter is an artist who sold $2 million paintings, and everybody wants these paintings for $1 million or whatever it is, right? And you'd hope everything else goes good. I'll get paid back. Like, I'm gonna force appreciate her shit.
You pay an artist.
I do pay a lot of artists. Yeah, actually, it's funny. I diss on art and all that, but like, I support the crap out of it. Every time we go to a different city, and we see an artist on the street or something, my wife and I, we always buy a drawing of the Grand Rapids, Michigan skyline. So we show it to him and go, hey, what is your interpretation of this? Draw it. And so we have rolls and rolls of just different places. So
I had your favorite artist over to my house the other day.
yeah, the person that
The
made
great
our
Jack Razor.
Jack Razor, say, with our Bucks and Brews logo all on the back everywhere.
Yeah, I love your logo. That's
Yeah.
like,
Thank you. I say I'm the brown one. But no, we but I don't know. To me, it's just a different thing. But again, if she wanted to go be a hippie and work on farms and stuff, doing whatever, I don't care. Go have fun, impact the world, save life. I'm trying to do that with my wife right now, right? Like she wants my daughter to live this normal life where she goes to the same school and does the same stuff. My wife is an occupational therapist, and I'm like, we absolutely hate America's healthcare system. Because it's so expensive. Like I would love the healthcare that we get, but like I'm like, hey, we can go donate all of your knowledge to other countries and do amazing things. Let's just go right now. You don't have to worry about getting sued. You don't have to do all this type of stuff. Go give back. Like I'm ready to leave yesterday. My bag is packed. It's a one-way ticket, and we'll just go from there. But she doesn't want to, so that's her
You're
problem.
stuck here.
I'm stuck here, old Michigan.
So
all this stuff you're talking about money though, like see that's like the beautiful thing about money, right? That I think it just doesn't always click for people. Everybody always thinks about buying the nicer car and buying the nicer this that, but like I feel like there's just so many more things that you can do with money. I think we value similar things in that, and so I get it. But I really feel like if people understood that, it could change a lot of people's outlook on money. And I even say that coming from when I was 22 and 23, just starting working out of college, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work my way up and be the CEO of this company when I'm 65. And I was thinking about the nicer car and the nicer home and and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a mansion in this neighborhood, when I'm 40 years old, once I work my way up. And then eventually I just realized, there's a different path. But I just feel like, I want to get that message out, that there's so many more things you can do with money that are outside of.
Yeah. Well, I was raised like an employee, right? Go work your butt off, you'll get promoted, right? And so I did that. I just happened to fall into some real estate like by accident, right? Because I hated paying a mortgage, and I realized that if I moved to a duplex, the top could pay for the bottom or whatever, and then somebody else could pay for my house, and I didn't have a mortgage. And then, I worked my butt off at my career, and oh, hey, you have to have a college degree to get a promotion. You have to, there's always this thing to get the promotion to get to the next step. And I was like, there's always going to be somebody standing in my way, where in real estate, there's not a damn person standing in my way. There's me and the person that owns the house that I want to buy. Right. Like, and so I happen to just out earn that. And I realized that I don't have to rely on, because I was the same as you. I'm going to be the CEO. I'm going to be the VP of this thing, because I know I have it in me to be the VP. And they wouldn't even let me get past level, 3. Right? It's just, and that was just absolutely insane. I remember I know what my warehouse manager, or, the plant manager made. And I remember having a conversation, and I looked at him and I said, he's like, Nick, why aren't you trying or whatever? And I was like, look, there's nothing against you. I make more money than you. And he's like, no, you're 3 steps below me. And I was like, yeah, I know. Uh-huh. I own a shit ton of real estate, and I guarantee you're working 50 hours a week, living in a really nice house, but I make more money than you. And he's like, no. And I was like, I'll hand you papers. I'll literally divulge all of my money. And he's like, why are you still working here? You guys give me health insurance and comfort. Well, that's just, we need more effort from you. No, you don't. You want more effort. You don't need it. Like, once you realize the difference between a need and a want, and that's what I find is when you have the opportunity to say, I get to choose what I want, that's amazing.
Well, again, we did the episode on quiet quitting, which pissed us both off, because literally nobody's quitting. You're just doing the job that they asked you to do. You're not going above and beyond because they don't pay you to.
Don't pay me.
I said that a lot when I was hourly.
Yep.
I went above and beyond at my job
This dude,
because they paid me.
yeah. This dude worked 110 hours like every week. all the
I,
time.
I worked a lot of hours.
Yeah, because I was still umpiring for
Yeah.
you, and I remember, no, I'm working, and I was like, dude, this dude,
I worked
work himself
all
to
the
death.
time.
And then
Then they switched me to salary.
I remember that
And
conversation.
now they get 40 hours out of me
Yeah.
because that's what they pay me for.
40, 45, yeah.
Yeah. 45 if we're really busy.
Yep. And it's just, it was fun. Like and that was a big hit, right? Because
Yeah.
you took a half pay
Yeah.
cut.
It cut my salary in half because I wasn't working the overtime anymore.
But now you work half of what you used to.
I do.
So,
And you know, I'm mostly fairly paid, I guess.
Yep.
But again, I do what I'm asked to do.
Yep.
I'm not doing the extra.
yeah.
What is your
Sure.
job and what was your?
So I work for a health system in the area, and what I do is I put together the legal documents and send them out to the membership. And the program we use was written in 1999.
Oh wow.
So it sucks. And it takes a lot of work to make it work. And when I was hourly, I didn't mind putting in the extra work to do that.
Yep.
They also had saddled me at that point with a very nice older lady who was never should have been in a technical position because I had to do her job at the same time. So
And that's, that's what you find is people, they expect you to keep doing the same thing for less money, and it's just not going to happen.
No.
Right. And so what do you want to get out of being a influencer, I guess, is that what you're calling it?
Yeah. So
Freedom.
I want to get, I want to make this a career, right? I would much rather do this than engineering.
Sure.
Next, I don't mind doing this for, or at least right now, I don't think I mind, but I want to do this, right? So I would love to be able to do this for the next 30 years, and to make enough living or make enough money to at least pay for our expenses, right? If I can make more. And I definitely think this has a higher ceiling than my engineering job. So that doesn't hurt, right? But
Sure.
really right now, I just want to make enough to be able to make this a sustainable career, just so I can do something I enjoy for 40 hours a week rather than engineering. But I also genuinely love helping people do this, or helping people with personal finance any way I can.
I will make a quick plug too about Drew, and this is just another reason why I know why other people should know how much he loves it. During COVID, he was, really did want to get started with things, but didn't really know exactly where to start. But he actually put flyers in different Starbucks and coffee shops to help people with personal finance for free, free of his time. He would spend, an hour or two with people on Zoom, helping people get set up. And did it free of his time. So he just generally enjoys it and he loves it. And I think that shows through whenever he's on his lives too.
Sure. That's amazing.
I think we've said it a million times. If you can find your passion and turn that into your career,
yeah,
that's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I think I know people I've made in life. So my favorite question to ask people, and I can ask you guys as well. If you won $1 billion in the lottery, well, how would you spend your time? And this is ignoring, sure, I would buy a nicer house, nicer car. I would do all that stuff, obviously, right? But how would you actually spend your time? That's my favorite question to ask people, because I feel like it tells people what they really would do and enjoy. So,
So I've always said if I won the lottery, I would keep working because, for the most part, I like my job. I work from home.
That's great.
It would make it much easier on my wife to run her business because, she wouldn't have to feel the strain of, being an 80-hour a week business owner. I would do a lot more charity stuff. I like my charity stuff. I don't get enough time to do it. So I would definitely do some of that. You, Nick?
Whatever my wife tells me. Plain and simple.
I love this dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah, say really, I would if I had that, what would I do? Right. I mean, this, as you said, like I would end up building the house I want, and then I'd have to build my wife's house right next to it so it would connect. Um, because we are not on the same page of house wants. And then, I absolutely love my car. So when you talk about nicer cars and things, no, I would make sure that my car just never dies.
No Dodge Viper.
I'd have to lose some weight to get it. I'd custom make a Dodge Viper.
There you
that
go.
way my fat ass fit in it. And then really, I would travel more. So what would I do? I would sell my entire business. So $1 billion, is that what you asked?
Yeah, yeah,
A billion.
literally. Yeah,
a
like
billion is way different than a million, right?
yeah. This
So,
is you never have to worry about anything money ever. You
Yep.
can-
So my business would be gone. And it's funny because it's not that I mind doing my business, is that I know that every lawsuit in the world would come after me
Mhm.
within a 2-second period, right? And so I don't want that. I don't want to deal with that. So, but what would I do? I mean, the same thing, I'd lend more money out to people that are doing the real estate stuff and still grow my wealth in that sense of things. So I'd still be in the real estate field. I I would just travel more. My wife wouldn't work, so in the summers we would just never would. We'd be here for about a month. I would have to have a pool because my wife would tell me I have to have one. But I would not have a fucking pool ever on my house. Okay, so we have 2 houses. I'm telling you guys, this is how it's gonna work. My wife's gonna have a house, and I'm gonna have my house, and we're gonna live in the same house, but it's like completely not the same. Like I'm fine with like sleeping in my bed right here, and she can be wherever the hell she wants in her bed, and we'll see each other through the days, and she can walk through my hallways and stuff. But like it'll be my house. So, but really, again, when I tell you, like my kid would go to the same school, we would just have a different area of where we lived, and we'd have we'd be on the water, and I'd probably just live on a sailboat all summer long. So, no matter where it is, and I'd still do some crewing, but I'd probably hire my best friend's dad, who's retired now, just to be the captain. So that way I can still feel what it's like to get yelled at on a constant basis. So,
So
because
can you see yourself actually doing that? I mean, eventually, right? If your business keeps on growing,
I'm already doing
custom house, right? That's going to be super expensive. But besides that, I feel like that. I mean, you're only 31, right? Or right?
34. I'm 34.
sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm already doing that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm
right?
I'm doing the life the only thing I'm not doing is traveling more. Okay. Like, multiple reasons. One, again, my daughter's in school and my wife wants her to go to a specific school and she wants her to have these friends and grow with these people. She doesn't want her to, if it was me, we would travel the world and she would make new friends all over the world and she would learn from a tablet or, online school. And my wife can work remote in one of her jobs, so she would just have that. But like, there's very little bits that, but I mean, I travel. I would just like to take a full month and go to Europe, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for 2 weeks sometime, like soonish. I don't know when we just haven't had planned it, but like we travel a shit ton. So compared to what we did, what we did. But I'm really living the life I've always dreamed of, so it's would I the only thing is I wouldn't work in my job the amount of work that I do, if that makes any sense, right? Like, multiple reasons. One, because I wouldn't have to sit here and do the grind, and number two is because, again, I would get sued up the wazoo if I had that kind of money, and it's just not worth the liability of it. So that money would go away in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to say someday I'll get there. But, what about you? What would you do if you could do it every day?
I think honestly, I think I would do something similar to what I'm doing right now. Yeah, I think we would have a lot more we would definitely have like a cleaner and a private chef, and right, free up. I mean, we would have all these things to, I think, free up as much of our time as possible. But I think work wise, I would still want to do something like similar to this. I genuinely love doing this, and you know, I feel, you know, there's just a lot of people that just don't have, you know, get to, you know, get to learn about this stuff. So that, and then yeah, definitely like travel more. You know, then I would have nicer stuff, I think as well.
Yeah,
But yeah, work wise, I think would be something very similar to this.
sure. And you know, you can freelance or just volunteer all of your knowledge of wealth building and stuff, right? And it's really hard because if you just got handed $1 billion, right? I mean, people would be like, "Oh, you don't know how to budget. You don't know how to do this because you don't understand money." And I tell people I never forget where I come from, right? I'm still not a like you don't know what Yesterdog is. We have this really shitty hot dog place that's really famous, but like, dude, I mean, they use my favorite like 92-cent chili, and you know, just I had that for lunch today. Cost me $10, but you know, I don't know. I would eat the same. Granted, I would hire a personal trainer if that's what you ask me, because now I'm just to the size that I don't like. I would hire a personal trainer and get fit and have to put the work in. So that's what I would do if I had that opportunity. That'd be the biggest key for me. So, Drew, any last questions you have for us? Anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to?
No, nothing that I can think of right now. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Drew, you're gonna come back on with us sometime, right?
Sure, why not? I had a great time. It's fun to just, you know, drink beer and BS and talk money, right? Why not?
Absolutely.
That's how this started.
Yeah, literally, that's how
you know,
this started.
we hopped on for a 3-hour call, and then we're like, we should record this. No,
You
you know,
guys or you guys have been friends for a long time, and then you like realized you both had this interest in.
So we've been friends for shit. It's probably been 15 years
oh, if not
ish.
more.
Yeah, in that range. And when COVID hit, Nick and I were used to getting together to talk money. You know, we'd get together like once every month or two and just talk money. And then COVID hit, and you couldn't get together with anybody.
Yeah.
And we were bored. And I said, "Hey, you want to hop on Zoom and we can just, you know, drink some beer and talk some money?" And he goes, "Yeah, that'd be great." And I opened it up to other people, and a coworker of mine hopped on, and we talked for like 3 hours. And we got done, and I'm like, you know, that was interesting. We should record that and throw it on YouTube. So we did. And then some people started listening, and we're like, maybe we'll turn that into a podcast. And we did. And there are people out there that like listening to our bullshits.
Nice.
We just keep doing it.
Nice.
Yeah, let's say, you know, and really I think it's just we didn't know that both of us were into money. It kind of probably just came through random talk and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And you know, again, when you're working 110 hours, you're not doing it because, well, you know, I'm sitting here watching this guy with a 2013 Equinox or whatever.
Well, shit, at that time, it was like a 2000 Intrigue.
Something like so, you know, I'm sitting there going, man, this guy's working all this. What the hell is he spending his money on? Like, I've seen his house. It's not like it's $1 million mansion. You know, it's like, where's it? You know, and then it's like, you know, he's watching me. I bought another house or something like that. You know, and it just kind of comes back to, oh, okay, we both kind of have this. Oh, hey, man, you know, I'm looking at a 401k. What, you know? Oh, yeah, I got one. You got one? Great. And so just over time, right? Money just happens to be the
Hey, I heard
confidential-
about this thing. Have you done this before? No, I haven't. Let's sit down and look at it.
Yeah. So, and we try everything. It's really funny.
A little bit of money everywhere.
Everywhere we haven't tried it all because you own some.
I own some crypto. I still don't really know
You
what
don't
the
know
hell
what
it
the hell
is.
it is, right? It's a,
Yeah.
it's not even it's real cash.
It's not real cash, I guarantee.
It's get some coins. So, no, it was awesome having you on. I would love to do this again. We have a million more questions, trust me, because I want to see if you guys change your budget a little bit. I'd love to dive in deeper into where you see yourself getting financially with what you're doing. There's just a million things that I'd love to do. But
Go ahead, Drew.
Oh, that That was my computer that.
Oh, way to go.
Give a plug out. Where can people find you?
So I'm primarily on TikTok at Dollars with Drew, spelled out. 35,000 followers right now on TikTok. I'm trying to dive into Instagram a little more. And then in the works eventually is long form content on YouTube, but primarily at Dollars with Drew on TikTok.
And so that's where I found him. So,
Yeah.
Everybody, if you have questions for him, for us, let us know. As always, again, like in the beginning, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. I think you literally have two of the smartest brains here, and then David.
That was coming.
But really, we appreciate everything.
Drew, stick around. We'll talk to you a minute off air. Again, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll be live again Monday night.
Yeah, we are.
Nick's giving a weird look, but we'll be live again Monday night. We have another TikTok person on, and until then, we will talk to you at that point.
Sweet, sounds good. Thanks for having me, guys.
You've dialed in to Bucks and Brews. You might hear something you can use, like tips on your cash or tips on the suds. You're gonna want to use the smarts of these stuff, cause they know the brews, and they know the box, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks. So listen up, cause shit's not funny, and save yourself some beer money. Bucks and Brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
Brews.
and Brews.
Bucks and Brews.